video that that talks about that shows a UFO flying and it looks exactly like that object.
Well, should I grab those pictures and bring them up so I can? I
We
mean,
could. I mean, it's current events. We could talk about it a little bit. And I know you went live on me while I was in mid sentence, so
oh yeah.
it didn't. I was like, "Oh shit!" The thumbnail. We didn't. It's like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Bribe.
well,
Right.
I mean, we're talking about stuff, right? So might as
Yeah.
well go live while
Might
we're
as
talking.
well. Might as well. But yeah, I think we've got a couple of current events to talk about that I think we need to mention before we get into this cryptid.
Because yes, yeah, we got a couple current events we need to talk about. I think that's something I want to do. Do you have your messenger up, or do I need to pull mine up real quick?
Mine's up.
Okay, can you pull the photos that I sent you
Yeah, I was
and
looking for them.
throw them in here?
I'm
And I
looking for
want
them as we speak. So yeah, I will see if I can grab it. I found it. Okay, so I'm going to.
so a couple current events before we get into the show here. Of course, that we had the big current event with the solar eclipse that happened on Saturday, which is kind of what we're talking about right now. Did what I caught Dave mid sentence by going live on him. But hey, guy's already on. What's up, guy?
What's up, my caveman? Oh, and yeah, I'm just gonna grab that video that you sent me too.
I already got it in there.
Oh, well, I already downloaded it too.
Yeah, I put it in. I was like, well, since we're because we're gonna talk about something else that happened after last Friday's show.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to talk about this solar eclipse. For one, it was amazing. Here in Colorado, we pretty much got a 90% solar eclipse. We almost got the Ring of Fire. I know out where you are at, I think you guys did get the Ring of Fire out by you. But
Yeah.
I was trying to take some photos of the eclipse, and of course, it didn't work because I didn't have a freaking solar lens on my freaking camera.
That
But
was the problem I had too.
I did get some weird photos, and I think Dave's trying to grab them right now. That came through, and it was they were weird, and I don't know what they are, but I think they were sharing. I could say maybe it was a solar, a lens flare or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But
So yeah, I grabbed 3 pictures. So the one was in black and white. So we had this one that you took, and I noticed off to the left of that there was something. Now that could be a lens flare or something.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
little bright object right next to that.
yeah.
Right, which you have a black and white shot. But this is the one that got me. Now this was like right above you.
Yeah.
As you were taking pictures, and then this was above. So there was this. And I think the green is probably a reflection or a flare off of the sun, but I think that's an object, bro. I think that's a UFO.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I know how I felt about it when I took them. They were crazy. I was like, "What the hell?" And I literally sent you the series of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm like, this is the whole series of pictures.
Stupid.
I took. What the hell do you think? And you're like, yeah, I could. And it was funny because you weren't paying attention to the pictures. You're just like, yeah, I couldn't get a good picture either.
Well, yeah, because it sounded like you were like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, yeah, I don't have the solar thing, so it just looks like a regular sun. And you're like, no, dude, check this. And I was like, oh, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Then the conversation changed to something. It evolved into something completely unexpected for me.
Yeah.
Because my granddaughter and I, we were sitting outside on our new deck, and we were just watching the sun, and we were watching it through the trees.
Yeah.
so that, it wouldn't blind us or anything.
Yeah.
And, we're looking and we're like, okay, it seems like it's getting darker. And we're like, okay, yeah, it seems like it's getting darker, but not completely. And I was like, yeah, this is only like an 80%
Yeah.
eclipse. So we still had like 20% or 17% or something still showing. And that's still bright enough to just keep it looking like daylight.
Yeah. Now
Um,
I scoured the internet. I mean, scoured. I spent hours on the internet just
mm,
trying to find something that could explain this or
mm,
maybe similar pictures or anything like that. And I
right.
could not find any. The closest thing I got was the weird shadows that were appearing on people's ground. I sent you a couple of videos
I
of that.
saw that. That was weird, bro.
There,
I was like, okay. Now I'm trying to find the video I sent you, and I
um,
don't know if I can because I sent you all kinds of shit. Maybe I think I sent you this one. Um,
I don't know. This eclipse, I've seen quite a few solar eclipses in my lifetime. This eclipse felt weird. It just felt weird. Like I
yeah,
don't know if it's everything leading up to it or all the conspiracies theories and all that shit that's been happening the last freaking month or two. Maybe just the weirdness of October itself with everything that's happening this month. But this eclipse felt really weird to me, and I just thought it was interesting.
thought it was interesting.
Getting a little feedback here.
Getting the feedback. Yeah, I don't know. I know that I'm actually doing something with the recording studio, so I might bounce around a little bit.
Related.
Oh, no,
I
that's
guess
really
it's related. All right then.
yeah. These images are crazy, and I still look at them today. I know it's been a week, but I still look at them going, "What the hell is that? Could it be a solar flare? Or lens flare, wherever you want to call it, or is because man, that looks like it has mass,
Right?
and it really threw me off."
Fire.
He's grabbing that video.
So let me save this. So this was I gotta see. I'm sure this was really recent, but this was taken at an airport.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna save this and then
Dave is
render it.
rendering.
So I might jump around here.
Yeah. Ah. If you guys are just joining us, we're kind of going a little bit over the current events that happened last week here. We're starting off with talking about the solar eclipse that happened on Saturday.
Mhm.
Some weird things that were caught, and we saw some weird videos that were caught. Dave's actually going to be sharing one of those videos here in a second. He's rendering it right now. And then we're going to talk about some things that happened after the show, and my REM
And you're
pod
getting stuff.
is going off like crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just
You can't understand.
stop it.
Guess not. Okay. See if I can get. Is there a date on
Pause it.
this?
Turn you off. I don't want to know you're here.
Oh yeah. This was okay. So this was 3 days ago.
3 days ago. Okay.
3 days ago, this was posted. So check
Okay.
this out. This is from an airport. I didn't get where, but check this out.
Oh yeah, I remember this video you sent me.
That reminded me of the object you saw.
Yeah. No.
Where are we?
Miss Caveman's here. What's up, Miss Caveman?
There was yeah, it was a very
Revolting.
I guess it was revolting.
I guess it was very revolting. It was a very weird, like I said, it was very weird eclipse, right? I mean, I don't know. It felt weird. Like even the like you go outside during the eclipse and I mean, like it just felt weird. It felt weird, and I got those pictures, made it weirder. I I don't want to say what they are because I know what I feel that I feel like I caught something. That's what I feel like.
What's up,
What's up?
Rich?
I feel like I caught something. I'm not sure if anybody out there sees the pictures and videos, if you can
I feel like
explain
you're
them,
yeah.
100% would love to
I
hear
feel
about
like
it.
sure.
Yeah, it feels like I caught something, right?
It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. That's weird. It didn't. Um, it just didn't. It just doesn't look right to me. It looks like there's a solid object, a round object in the air,
Yeah.
like, and it just seemed to me like it was looking at the eclipse.
And this like yeah, it's so weird.
Jessica.
Old. I feel old. But it was just a weird eclipse. I love it. I mean, we've been talking about it all week kinda about it, and it's so weird. And then not to boot, I wake up Saturday morning before this eclipse even happens, and Dave, I see a message on Messenger, and Dave was like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck happened last night," but Dave was stripping off clothes, I'm pouring out sweat. But the crazy thing is the exact same time this is happening to Dave, where he just gets his I don't know how do you wanna describe that? What like this
It was.
overwhelming heat surge, like, Dave went through menopause real quick.
I don't know what the hell happened, bro. That was like some.
But at the exact same time, so I get up in the morning, my routine, pour me a glass of coffee, grab a cigarette, my one cigarette for the day. I walk out to the front porch, smoke my cigarette, drink coffee, go through my messages, which is about
What
20
do
of
you
them
want?
are usually from Dave sending me fucking crazy videos and shit. Usually about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm still up, by the way. Just shit
But so it was weird. There was only one message, and Dave says, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck happened, but all of a sudden I got super hot, and then I threw up everywhere." About an hour after the show, I went, "Holy shit!" Now I was gonna type Dave back, but it was just too much. I had to call him right away. I'm like, "No shit." Hour after the show, my wife went through the exact same thing.
yeah.
Like, she thought she was having a heart attack. It was crazy. Like, thought she was having a heart attack.
Yeah. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And guys, I don't you guys don't know this, but I do not throw up. I've I've had I've had food poisoning, I've had salmonella. And I don't throw up. I can count on one hand the number of times I've thrown up in the last 20 years. It just doesn't happen. And I'm, let's just say I'm sitting on my throne and
Stripping all
all
his
of a
clothes off.
sudden I get this weird vertigo, like crazy, where I'm like, okay, I can't move. If I turn my head, I am fucked right now. And then I start breaking out in sweat. I'm just dripping sweat. And it's midnight.
Yeah. It's like 40
So
degrees outside.
it's like, well, at 40 degrees for you, it's probably 65, 70 for me, but it's still, I shouldn't be sweating.
Yeah.
No matter how much I'm working on my throne, I shouldn't be sweating like that. And
Fire.
yeah, that's what I said. Fire. And then I was like, I need to switch ends really quick because something was about to happen. I was feeling it and literally just, you know, flushed, spun around, and then and it was
Excellent.
violent. it was it was I was so sore the next day. It was like I did 5,000 crunches, and
Oh, that was
I
crazy.
was like, it was horrible, bro. I was like, and that's not something that I've experienced before.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
I do a little spirit session that day when, I had, like, time while me and you were chatting,
mhm.
and the crazy thing is, you get some hit and miss stuff.
What happened?
That's what Dave was
We're
telling
trying
me.
to figure that out.
Sick, and we're trying to figure out why. And
Nobody understands.
I know.
and the one response that really stuck with
Can you
me
repeat?
was, "We are angry." And the "we" part really stuck with me. I was like, what's
What do
this
you
sh
mean we?
what do you mean "we"? Now
I don't know.
I did do another spirit session the other day, and the weird thing about it, crickets. On
Nothing.
Wednesday,
You got no
yeah,
response?
crickets. I mean, and I never not get a response.
Yeah.
And I sat
Teresa.
here, my love was in there cooking and doing what in the kitchen, and I was, I had to do some scanning in of some stuff for making shirts and stuff like that, so I was scanning stuff into the computer, and and I'm like, "You know what? I'm sitting here, I'm gonna get things going. Let me just do a spirit session while I'm sitting here."
Mhm.
Fucking nothing, dude. Like, picking up the phone with a dial tone, nothing. It was crazy. It was eerily quiet. It wouldn't answer me, it
Strange.
wouldn't talk to me, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. Now, yeah, after so normally when we're done with our show, I generally do not get responses from the ghost tube.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I get anything. So I did a ghost tube session after we
I get
talked.
you.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm glad you hear me. So, and I said, "What happened to me last night?" And the response was possessed.
Possessed. I was like, "No shit." Yeah, because I had just told you, I was like, "Dude, it says we are angry." And
We
you're all, "What
we
the"
are angry,
yeah,
and
that we part, we're
um,
angry.
and then it went. I asked a couple more questions, no response, and then I asked, "Who did this to me?" And the response was, "It's dark."
It's dark. And the only thing I can think of, and I don't even know if I wanna say it,
Is
is
BM?
is BM.
Yeah,
That's not bowel movement.
no, I did that before throughout. um, yeah, no, I think we said something about this entity that
Those
we
2
shouldn't have.
was yelling at us. That's what, and the crazy thing is she was listening to our podcast, listening to it, the Urban
Mhm.
Legend podcast, which was, I loved it. It was a great show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Leave me alone.
And it was doing that. It didn't want us talking about it throughout the whole time we were talking about it. "Leave me alone. Stop it. Don't record this." I mean,
I told
I'm
her.
I'm listening to it, I'm like, "That thing was not." Oh, I just got chills now.
Yeah. I did too, right on my forearms. I was like, and it
What?
was, um,
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about. I do have to point out the very next
what's a
day
dial tone?
the very next day of getting crickets, I leave the house, and was someone that's kinda like a daughter of us, was feeding kinda like a grandson now, uh, uh,
I'm inside it.
feeding them, and, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna finish feeding them, then I'll leave." So, we were gone 5 minutes, and she calls and says, "You need to get home now." We think something's wrong with the baby, so we're like, "What the
Mhm.
fuck is going on?" And she sends this. Where'd you put it, Dave? Did you delete the video?
It's right there. This one.
Yeah.
No.
I was looking too far down. I was looking at background for some reason instead
Watching.
of video.
Yeah. We're
But,
looking at background again. Get rid of the thumbnail.
Yeah. I was like,
But yeah,
she sent this, and I was like, holy shit. So she didn't send that yet. She was live FaceTiming my love and turns the phone, and it's still swinging. She said it swung hard enough to hit the window. Luckily enough, she was smart enough to record before she ran out of the house.
Yeah.
She did. She's like, I'm out of here. She heard the kid back that was gone. I was like, well, not hurting you. What do you got me scared of? Just letting you know, hey, you're not alone.
Yeah. Guess what?
But yeah, like
Maryland.
I was like, and of course I send it to you right away. I'm like, bro, this just happened. Like this just happened. And of course, you're not fucking on Messenger to talk back. I'm like, damn you, Dave. Why are you taking so long to respond?
I was out to eat with my family. I'm sorry, I'm not at your beck and call for every little paranormal thing. But
I really need your response right now. But yeah,
yeah,
I was like, wow.
Talk to me. But and then I hit you with I've been having these visions, and and things happen like that when I stay connected to someone for a long period of time.
Other
And you
side.
and I have been doing this show for a steady a few years now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost done with season 3, bro.
Yeah, we're almost done with season 3, bro. And I'm like, I'm starting to get images of you and certain things happening to you.
I don't
Female.
or female.
I try to avoid those, but the female ones. But one was I saw your tire blow out.
Yeah, which was funny because you're like, hey man, did you almost get in an accident the other day? And I was like, well, I don't well, yeah, I guess kind of.
Rope.
But I ended up having to swerve to miss something in the road and ended up blowing out my tire, which is kind of what Dave was saying was happening in his vision before I told him what was happening to me. And then you got the other day he was communing with the porcelain throne. Then you got the one the same day, Thursday, right? That I sent it. Yeah, I sent it to you Thursday, right? Yeah, I sent it to you yesterday. Yeah, thank you for agreeing. That you kept seeing something about a reflection of the dream catcher, and you thought it might have been missing a tassel, and you say it seems like it should have 5, and I was like, that's funny. I was like, well,
False.
my daughter just got a dream catcher, but it's not really a dream catcher; it's more of a shield.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe he's not talking about that. Let me check the ones in the bedroom. And I walked in there. I was like, well, there's nothing missing off of them. And I took the pictures and I was looking at the angle. I was like, but I could see how he can not see the
She told me.
tassel hanging here. And then I even took the picture of the reflection in the mirror because you said it was a reflection. And I was like, interesting. Yeah. I went to the mirror, the same mirror that you saw when you first came into my room.
Right.
I took a picture from that mirror. And you can only see 4 out of the 5 tassels hanging. I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting. That's good." And I sent you the picture, and you're like, "Yep, that's the one. It's that smaller one right there." And I was like,
"Yeah, it's a smaller one." Yeah, I was like, it was a small one, and I don't even remember seeing the other one, but I remember it was a smaller one, and I kept going. Okay, that one, it's missing a tassel. I kept thinking that it was missing a tassel, and I was like, "What? Why am I seeing that?"
Yeah.
And then it was like, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, it's backwards. And I was like, okay, I've got to be looking at a mirror image or a reflection or something. So yeah, I just, we were talking and I just happened to go, hey, is this a thing? Does this make any sense to you? Because I honestly wasn't sure if it was you or if it was one of my sons, because I know my son Eric has dream catchers.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure where that was coming from, but with the mirror and everything, it reminded me of your place. So
yeah, I thought it was
funny because I've never stepped foot in your place.
No, but you've been here twice now.
But I've been here twice. Anyway, I grabbed the footage that you sent to me of the shadows from the eclipse.
Oh.
And I wanted to play that really quick.
Okay.
So check this out.
Nice. Check these shadows out, man. These are just fucking weird. I'm telling you, dude, those are just fucking weird.
Crazy, right?
Like I've seen so many solar eclipses in my life. I've never seen that. Including the last big one that went through.
I said no.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the eclipse now. They were so weird, and so many of them. And those shadows happened everywhere. Like I found videos from Brazil, Mexico, Texas, Wyoming. I mean, they were everywhere.
Daniel.
And I was like, hey, Daniel. They were everywhere. I could not explain.
Friend.
Okay. Daniel's a friend. That's good.
That's good. And that's kind of weird. I'll revisit that one. But they were so weird. Like I couldn't explain it. I was like, I've never seen that before. And it's not like we haven't gone through solar eclipses without cell phones before.
Yeah, well, this is the annual Ring of Fire. It happens every year.
Yeah.
So, or I guess not.
So I mean, why this one? Why this one that we get these before? I don't know. The whole eclipse thing was weird.
Yeah.
But that's us sharing what's happened this last week. Dave, let's go ahead and kick into the show here and roll the intro and we'll get going on everything.
All right, sounds good. Just doing some final touches on something else really quick.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna suck.
Stupid.
But I know it is stupid. Let's go ahead and go and fire up the intro. Here we go.
right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and Nancy. The
Kevin.
spirits.
Nancy.
I am your host for Ghost Jawwalkers. Of course, you all know your host with the most, Mr. David Lowe. Man, we are on Cryptids Part 12. Tonight we are talking about the Mongolian Death Worm. We had a very long current event session there, but we are kicking this off with a bang, I say. But the Mongolian Death Worm, this is a very interesting cryptid, considering how much has been done for the Mongolian Death Worm and the lack of things for the Mongolian Death Worm. like this is a crazy one. This is a crazy one.
Who is she?
It's kind of funny because I don't know who she is. There's just me and Dave, unless you're talking about Miss Caveman. But this for some reason has been coming up. Like when we start looking for cryptids to talk about. Well, then go. No, I'm not going.
I want it.
I want you to go. No, I'm not going. I live here.
No, you go.
I'm not going. You could go.
I'm not going. You go.
But this one always seems to come up when we're talking about it, and we're finally going to talk about this one.
Well, yeah, this is an interesting one because I mean it's in most of the lists that I find of like the popular cryptids, this is labeled as the most dangerous one on the planet.
And we're going to talk about
we're going to get that. There's some stuff in the lore. We're going to get to why. There's stuff in the lore on that, but I'm teasing that.
Yeah, don't set me up for the spoiler, Dave.
Not setting you up for the spoiler, bro.
This and researching this thing made me like this thing more. Like I was like, this thing's fucking cool. Like it's fucking cool. But I'm gonna wait to kind of hold my opinion.
You're gonna hold your Mongolian Death Worm.
I'm gonna hold my Mongolian Death Worm until the end here, and let you know
why is he here.
If I believe this thing to be myth. Well, he's the co-host. He's the host with the most. That's
why am I here?
Jeez. Whether it's myth or if this is a true cryptid. So, because I don't want to give any spoilers away, because Dave does a lot of work on putting these awesome lore videos and history videos together, and I am the spoiler of spoilers when it comes to stuff. I don't know how many times he's told me, dude, that's in my fucking shit.
La la la.
Plug your earmuffs.
Sending him notes. Stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But no, it's this was an interesting cryptid to do the research on. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out the lore on the Mongolian Death Worm. Check this out, you guys. The name Ogoi Korkoi, meaning large intestine worm, is used to describe this cryptid due to its red blood-like color, size, and appearance, which looks like a large intestine. Western culture has come to call this monster the Mongolian Death Worm. It is described by many to be from 2 to 7 feet long, have the ability to spit out a corrosive yellow saliva, and to generate blasts of electricity. Mongolian nomads believe the giant worm covers its prey with an acidic substance that turns everything a corroded yellow color. Legend says that when the creature begins to attack, it raises half of its body out of the sand and starts to inflate until it explodes, releasing lethal poison all over the unfortunate victim. It is said to prey on livestock and humans. The poison is so venomous that its prey dies instantly. It would seem that after Genghis Khan, the death worm is the deadliest thing to come out of Mongolia. American paleontologist Roy Chapman Andrews received tales of the monster from a gathering of Mongolian officials. None of those present had ever seen the creature, but they all firmly believed in its existence and described it in great detail. It is shaped like a sausage, about 2 feet long, has no head nor leg, and is so poisonous that merely to touch it means instant death. It is said to live in the most desolate parts of the Gobi Desert. Mongolia had been under Soviet control until 1990, so very little was known about the Deathworm in the West. After 1990, investigators have been able to look for evidence of the creature's existence. Ivan Mackerel, one of the leading Loch Ness monster researchers, studied the region and interviewed many Mongolian people about the worm. Due to its sheer volume of sightings and strange deaths, he came to the conclusion that the Deathworm was more than just a legend. Mackerel cites a Mongolian legend which described the creature as traveling underground, creating waves of sand on the surface which allow it to be detected. It is said it can kill at a distance, either by spraying a venom at its prey or by means of electric discharge. It primarily lives and burrows underground, only rarely coming to the surface. We will talk about this cryptid to bring it to the surface, a place where we will determine whether to reveal it as a myth or put this very real cryptid back into the ground and back away.
Interesting. Interesting. And the crazy thing about that Ivan Markel guy
Yeah.
is he went 3 times to the Mongolian desert to try and find this.
Yep.
3 times. The last time being in 2009. One of the times he took the dune. I don't know the word I'm looking for.
He took the
dune.
thumper, yeah.
Yeah,
The thumper that
he took the thumper. He created the thumper, a real life thumper, stuck it in the ground and started boom, and also used explosives at the same time. But
yes.
just to try and get these things to come up. What I'm wondering is they say how you can detect them, right? From up high, and they create waves in the sand based on them burrowing in the ground. Why don't they fly a drone and check the areas out before they go in there and then start excavating or whatnot, trying to find these things? Excuse me.
I don't know. It's like deep in the Gobi Desert. So you have to still go in there. I mean, unless they do like the big UAV, fly it over, scan the area, and see if they can locate it. I don't know if it's that big of a deal, but yeah, I would probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not take a drone with you? I mean,
I would do, because I mean, it'd be bad enough just going into that desert, but I'd because dude, Google Street View.
yeah.
Get some Google Street View over there, do that, drive by in their little car and picture stuff. Or, just, because the Google satellite, you can like zoom right down into that.
Oh yeah.
And if you can see stuff. But yeah, like you have a UAV fly over, not the small drones, but the big ones. Because you could fly those like thousands of miles. You could just shoot that over, shoot some pictures, see if you catch anything. And when you do, mark the location, get down there, and then
even take a helicopter, because if you see those waves forming in the sand, you can land your helicopter right away, jump out, and fucking start going after this
Dining.
thing, right? The other thing I found interesting is I did watch a video where a guy was actually out in the Gobi Desert where he set up 3 different trail cams.
Mhm.
And he goes to the first one, and he cool freaking Gobi desert lizard. It was kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
the third one got knocked over and ends up, he's like, what the hell is that? Because he like 75 pictures of the sky because it got knocked over, and he's getting pictures of the clouds moving. But the last two images, the first one he starts before he hits play, he's like, what the fuck is that? It's like this creature with one eye and a horn coming off its head, and turned out to be like it was the head of a cow. But the second one, which is why I saved it for last, was completely fried. What the hell can fry something like electronics in the middle of a fucking desert? And he's looking for the Mongolian Death Worm. That's what he put it out there for, is the Mongolian Death Worm.
Mhm.
So I found it interesting that one was fried. And to be able to put a discharge off to kill a human being, an adult human being, from a distance, that's more powerful than fucking electric eel.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is not an
that's
eel or
powerful.
fucking
That's
fish.
mine.
I just want to point that out there. I don't know why they call it an electric eel. And the venom that it has to spit out says it can instantly corrode metal.
Yeah.
And if that don't get you, just touching it will fucking kill you.
Kill you.
And it's crazy because there's stories upon stories upon stories of sightings. Like there's even one where people and livestock go missing, only to be found a few days later, paralyzed and mutilated.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But up to 7-foot long worm. That's some fishing.
That's some, you can catch some
There's
like
some-
swordfish with that shit.
Yeah.
You can catch one of those 400-pound tunas.
What is this?
This is a paranormal review
Kristen.
show.
No,
So there's one famous story among the nomads about a young boy who was apparently followed by a worm, and nearby his home they found his dead body.
Yeah.
And it was believed that he died because he touched the worm. And then his family went after this worm. Because they tracked the sand, they tracked the divots in the sand and saw where the worm had taken off. The family went after him and they never returned. They never found him.
The family disappeared too?
The family disappeared.
Oh, shit. Dude, I'm telling you, there's something about this, and I can understand why Markle, after doing 3 expeditions out that place, and we're talking, there's been some famous expeditions that have gone out there, but Markle has done it the most, and he did not catch a single bit of evidence on camera, on whether it be picture or video. But at the end of all 3 of his expeditions, after he was all said and done and caught no video evidence or camera evidence or photographic, whatever you want to call it, he still says that this is not a myth. Too many people have either seen it or have died from it.
Yeah. So the first reported sighting from a Westerner of this cryptid was in 1927, and this is the paleontologist Roy Chapman Andrews.
Yeah.
When he went out there, he actually spotted the tail of a worm, and the Mongolians were like, "Dude, right there, fucking!" And he's like, "Oh no, that can't be it. That can't be right." But he later changed to tune, and he's like, "That's got to be it." But he was so fascinated about it that he was like, he wrote that whole thing. He wrote that whole book about it.
Yeah, he ended up
Hi.
writing
There was-
2 books about it.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like,
So
wow.
there was an expedition that was conducted between 1946 and 49 where they went deep in the Gobi Desert
Yeah.
to try to find this worm. And there's a man by the name of Yuri Orlov, because Soviet Union had like control
Control of that
so
whole area. Yeah.
so Yuri Orlov is a Soviet scientist, and he found the creature. He spotted it. I think it killed like 2 of his people. He
Yes.
had pictures of it, and the Soviet government burned everything.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
rid of
I see you.
all the evidence and got
Do
rid
you
of it.
want to play?
You already asked me that. I didn't answer
Sure,
you for a
you
reason.
already said that. So the most reported sightings of the cryptid happened during the 19th century.
Yeah.
Where they had livestock dying and people going missing and people dying. So that was like the biggest period of time where shit was happening. And these things will attack. They're like, they go after people. And it says that their favorite time to attack is in June and July, because that's the rainy season for the Gobi Desert. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to come to the surface if it's going to rain. Otherwise, they stay underground.
Yeah.
So that's when you fly the drone over.
Yeah. Right.
right after a good rain, fly the drone over, and take a look at that. But my favorite one is in 2005.
Trapped.
And they did feel trapped. So Richard Freeman is a cryptologist. He conducted an expedition to find out if the Mongolian Death Worm exists, and they found a village, and this village completely moved the town because of a Mongolian Death Worm sighting.
Yeah. Yes.
They packed up and they moved the entire village to another location.
Yes. They're like, nope, we are too
Nope,
close.
fuck that. We're not going near. I was like, dude, that's some shit right there. When you're like, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the fear among Mongs
Among the indigenous there. Yeah.
is genuinely 100%. They are scared of this thing.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly. They exist. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't have the double head, so it throws me off because it says.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but they said that was supposedly a skeleton.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
because they got dark red in color, spikes shooting out both ends of its shapeless body, but I guess it's not shapeless. It looks like a sausage. 2 to 7 feet long. That's a crazy picture. I didn't know what to make of that picture. Evidently, it's stupid.
Apparently it's stupid. But yeah, I don't think because it came with this one. I don't think it's real. I think it's probably CGI or something to make it look.
Well,
but it looks good.
They said they've never caught this thing on camera or on film or anything.
Yeah, and that's not entirely accurate. They did in 2013. They got pictures of it, which they're denying because they said, "Oh, it's not the right color" or some bullshit. But this is one of the actual pictures that was taken in 2013.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure. I mean, you look at the key, you can see, okay, this thing's probably about 2 foot long.
I would say probably pretty close to 2 foot.
2, maybe 3. Yeah. And
it definitely got like the worm look to it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that could be a Mongolian death worm because they're like, oh no, it's not the right color. And I'm like, okay,
red.
look,
Yeah, but it's
I
also
think the
sand,
color,
bro. It's
I
like,
think there is some reddish tint to it, but I'm like, there should never be a worm in the Gobi Desert.
no, I mean Australia. Like if you even look at the Australian sandworm, it's yellowish in color.
Mm-hmm.
There are worms that do live in sand and not soil, and the Australian worm, which is actually very poisonous itself, is
Do you want to play?
is yellowish in color. You keep asking me that, and I'm
That's
not
the third
answering you
time.
for a reason.
Yeah.
There's, and then if you look at like, have you ever seen a blood
I
worm?
want to come.
Like when you look at the pictures of this Mongolian Death, the artist renditions, or some of these pictures that they have saying this is possibly a Mongolian death worm, they look like the bloodworm, except bloodworms don't get up to 7 feet long that I'm aware of. I don't know if you ever seen any of those, but
No.
yeah, they have a nasty bite, bro. There's like a guy on TikTok that I actually follow where he lets himself get stung by the deadliest things ever.
Dumbass.
Yeah, like he's even take the fucking the bullet ant. And
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
but he worked himself up. It was a crazy series. He works himself up to that bite, and the one right before that is the tarantula hawk, and then he's finally gets to deal with the bullet ant. But
Mm-hmm.
the guy that does it with him does similar bites too. Like he did a blue octopus bite. I guess they're pretty nasty. And then but he also did the bloodworm, and it's crazy because like like alien, dude. Like the head comes out of the head to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
The mouth comes out of the head to bite you. It's crazy. But when
Yeah.
I see these pictures of, that's really what they do remind me of. But they also do live in the sand by the ocean. They're also a sand dwelling worm,
Okay.
but they're a sea worm mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But they're crazy, bro. They're crazy. And to watch them bite, watch it like a very alien vibe. To watch their mouth come out of their head and then bite and latch on, and they got all the freaking little spikes that hook on like a leech would, almost like a leech mouth. They're crazy. But nasty bite on them, from what I understand. And that's what this reminded me of at first, until they start getting to the venom, being able to spit it like a cobra, and the electric shock like an eel, except it can freaking just disperse an electric shock and kill someone 10 feet away. I mean, that's power, bro.
Yeah.
And these people wholeheartedly, they're like, no, this is real. This shit happens.
Blacksmith.
Like, I lost my uncle because of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. This thing's just fucking crazy. If there's a worm out there I don't want to fucking find, this would be
That's
it.
the one. That's the worm. That's the worm. Yeah. This is a cryptid. I don't know if I mean,
You're here.
Okay.
we're here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to mess with this thing.
No, this is a badass thing. And I know I got a couple scores I have to change.
Yeah.
But this thing's crazy.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling you were going to talk about the expedition, but it's the only expedition where people have died trying to find this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I didn't hear about that fucking family, that boy fucking all dying when they went hunting for it. The boy dies, and then the rest of the family dies because they went looking for it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This thing, I think as far as, and we're going to get to the scores here in a second, but I think as far as being a dangerous cryptid, I think it's absolutely dangerous.
Yeah.
And then, but where it lacks is the evidence. There's not a whole, I saw there's sightings, there's stories, there's legends, all kinds of stuff. And I think a lot of that stems from the Soviet control before 1990.
I was thinking that too.
I
Like
don't like
almost as that when we go into like we've tried doing a paranormal show of Russia,
Yeah.
but we couldn't do it because nobody talks about it. They're very closed-lipped about that type of stuff.
They're very tight-lipped.
And I can see if this being in Russian control until 1990, how there's a few that have gone out there that got permission from the government to do their expeditions. And after 1990, we had, I think, like 3 more expeditions that have gone out there. I mean, even Destination Truth went out there looking for this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. 2006, 2007, they went out there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I yelling? I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab that footage because it's not streaming anywhere.
No. With Expedition X, it's hard to find the Destination Truth stuff.
Yeah.
But it's and then the last expedition was in 2009. And I mean expedition. That doesn't mean the last sighting, but the last expedition. 2013. That's right. 2013.
2013 was the last expedition.
Yeah. 2009 was Marco's last expedition, I think.
Yes.
Back.
Right before he died.
Yeah, right before he passed away.
Yeah.
Which is great because he's a Nessie guy. I love that. I love that too.
Yeah. So I kind of trust his judgment, even though he didn't find any actual evidence of the cryptid, he still believed that it was real.
Yeah.
Like, and I've got to lay weight to that because of how he was researching Nessie for like 30 some odd years before he even started on the worm.
Yeah. And right now they got the big freaking Nessie thing going on.
Nobody talks about Russian Fight
Club. That's right, guy. First
rule of Russian Fight Club. No one talks about Russian Fight. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the Russian Fight Club.
And if he dies, he dies.
I say that a lot, which is funny.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. It is here. I don't think I want the Mongolian Death Worm here. I'm good.
Definitely don't want the Mongolian Death Worm.
I'm good. This is one that I'm glad is not seen anywhere else except for the Gobi Desert.
Yeah, dude. It's like why don't you live in Australia, dude? Because everything in Australia fucking kills you.
Will kill you. It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. That's Austrian, buddy.
That's Schwarzenegger. I did Ivan Drago.
I hope everyone's
everyone is like
Rich. I appreciate you. Speaking of Rich, you guys did a fucking amazing show Monday night on Faces for Radio. You guys are fucking amazing. Your guys' chemistry is that you guys bounce off each other really good. I just have to put that out there that you guys. That was a good show.
Rich goes, that's I'll never go to Australia or to Dave's house.
What's wrong with Dave's house?
Because I've got rattlesnakes and spiders and bears and shit like that.
Yeah, Dave does live in and
he's like no. And I've been stung twice by scorpions this season, and that usually doesn't happen. And he's like, no, fuck that, bro. I'm not coming to your house. At first he was like, I'm gonna sprint from the car to your house. And then when I'm telling him I'm getting stung inside my house, he's like, no. There's too much shit that can kill me or eat me. Yeah. But dude, I love doing the Faces for Radio with Rich. It's such a cool show that we're doing all the new releases and stuff. And I've corrupted him to now he basically scores these movies automatically now when he watches them.
Prisoner.
While he's watching the movie, he's like, oh yeah, okay, cast is a 6. Oh yeah, acting's pretty good. I'll give that an 8. He's like doing this as he's watching the movie.
That's
And
awesome.
at first it seemed like he was mad at me about it, but now he's like, okay, I'm getting used to this, and it's pretty cool. And
You take your old
and
lady out there
You
and
won't
bug the
leave.
hell out of them, but yeah, it was a great movie, but the cast was only a 6 on this. I don't know.
yeah. Well, it's just, I didn't recognize anybody, so the cast gets a low score, but the acting
Yeah.
gets good score.
Rattlesnakes, scorpions, spirits, and bears. Oh my, yes.
Oh my.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
Feel good. Oh.
I'm starting to get my buzz on, so that's fine.
Dude, I just picked up these. I just picked up these monster hard monsters. They're
Hard
kinda yummy.
monsters.
Yeah.
Perfect for a cryptid show.
Yeah. They
You
even
got a
say
hard monster.
beast. The beast.
That's funny because I have the Arizona hard green tea with ginseng.
Okay, it said to my left, and now it's coming. This is not good, Dave. It's no, you saw my death live here on Spiritual Spirits.
All right. I'll be like, okay, I guess we're gonna sign off now.
See my
Hard
body go
monster for Dave After Dark. Just getting thrown around and stuff. And I'm like, so John, how do you feel about the Mongolian Death Worm? Son of a bitch.
Prisoner.
Yes, we are a prisoner to our own devices.
Prisoner of our own devices. But yeah, let's score this little bastard and see.
I underscored the size because I scored it and then I found more stuff saying that it was 7 foot.
Yeah, 7 foot's the max. It generally stays between 4 and 5, but we go with the maximum, which is 7 feet, and I put it at a straight 5 because it's
That's actually where I put it. I was like, wait a minute, no, 7 foot. We agreed that was still human size.
Yeah,
I know it's Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming, but it's still human size. So I did have it at a 5. The speed, I was weird here on the speed because nowhere does it talk about how fast this thing is.
Yeah, except for the fact that number 1, it's never been seen.
Yep.
And number 2, it's always underground. So I'm thinking like Tremors and shit where this thing's moving. I
went 3.
Oh, I went 6.
Because I wasn't finding anything. But if I think of Tremors or Dune,
those are pretty much all you get. But I mean, this thing's like way smaller than that. But I'm thinking this thing's pretty fast underground.
You think that this thing is faster than a human?
Yes.
Water.
I don't think it's faster than water. Depends on where it's going.
Depends where it's at. The lake is probably faster than water in a lake.
Lake, it's faster, but waterfall, maybe not.
Okay, faster than a human. Human, we say, is a 4.
Yeah.
Sarah.
And I gave a 1 point bonus because I think it's faster than a human, and then a 1 point bonus because it's never been spotted. Which means if it comes up above ground, it dips before anybody can get a picture of it.
It does seem to be able to burrow pretty quick and get out of there. You had the one Russian guy be able to get some photos, but that evidence got burnt. I like a 5. I think I like a 5 for the speed.
They feature worms in the rebooted Trigun series.
Funny thing is, there is a Mongolian Death Worm movie based off of Destination Fear's expedition to Mongolia to find this thing on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, it was made by Sci-Fi, but just
of course, because Destination Truth was on Sci-Fi. So
yeah,
that. But they make that worm out to be like,
oh yeah.
They make that one out to be like Tremors.
Yeah,
with the size of that bastard.
Ashley.
Okay, so you're at a 5, I'm at a 6. We'll go 5.5 for that.
5.5 here.
Evidence.
I was at a 1 for the evidence because I understand. Maybe I should be at a 2 because of the waves and the sand thing.
Yeah.
Is a way to know that they're there. I could see myself going up to a 2, but I can't give points to evidence that was destroyed that was never shared.
Yeah. And this is the only exception. And I went 3.
I said I might have. Okay, I forgot about that picture that you have there. Yeah, I'd be willing to go 3 here.
Okay.
1 for the waves and 1 for that picture.
Yeah.
Aggression, I think I actually underscored.
I think this is a very aggressive
I
creature.
scored it at an 8, and I think it's more aggressive than that.
I think it's more aggressive. I went 9.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking.
I still think it might be a 10.
It could
because this
be.
thing
It very
killed an
well could
entire
be a 10.
family.
It seems its whole thing is to kill, right?
Yeah. It hunts livestock and humans.
Yeah.
That's its whole thing. It's not doing
Breathing.
it for territory or anything like that. If you're close by and it detects you, I think it's going to come and get you.
I think I have to give it a 10.
I think we have to.
I think I have to give it a 10. I gotta change my score. Lore, I did like the lore. It's got some
I
good
like
age
the
to
lore.
it. It's still talked about to this very day.
Quiet.
Be quiet.
Sorry, I'll quit talking. Go ahead, Dave.
Trigun is the size of something that can swallow a gas station rest stop.
Oh, yeah, tremors.
Okay. Yeah. So, I think the lore is good. I think the Soviet cover up hurts it.
Even with the Soviet cover up, the amount of stories that are coming out from
Feeling.
the people there in Mongolia.
Yeah.
I really like it. There's lots of stories. There's lots of history on it. They don't know where it came from, of course. Other than that, it's just a natural creature that's built to kill. I put the lore at an 8 is where I landed.
That's where I did too.
Perfect. I love it.
Are you a friend?
I love it when we feel that way.
I love it when we're on the same page with that.
Now, sightings, I greatly underscored because I was thinking about the evidence, and I can't think about the evidence when I think about sightings, and I always forget about that.
Right.
Sightings are what people report seeing.
Yeah.
And they are reporting either seeing it or they're, like I said, their uncles are dying from it.
Livestock dying from it. Whole villages moved because of it.
Moved from it, and we're gonna get about that on the emotion.
Yeah.
I originally put 3 on the sightings. I think I should be more at a 7 or an 8. And
Yeah, I went 7.
That sounds good with me. I'll stick with the 7 here. Audio here was a no-brainer for me. This is a 1. There is no audio coming. I know there's lots of videos out there where it's going, ah! But no, there's no audio. There's nobody even there's nobody even talking about audio for this thing, about it making noises.
Yeah.
Not even when it comes out of the sand is it making a noise, which is crazy weird, right?
Right. But yeah, I went 2 because I believe it's got to be making some noise when it's coming out of the sand or when it's moving close to the surface and the sand is moving.
I'd be willing to give it a 2 from the sound of an electrical discharge.
That would be good too. I like that. Now I'm at a 3. No, I'll stay at a 2. How are you not at a 3, bro?
You're only at a 2, god damn it.
You're only at a 2, god damn it.
So we had a 2.
Yeah, we're going 2.
Physical object. I put this at a 7. I was at a 7 on the physical object. The fact of it killing people, of course, and those are objects, and that is very physical. I could be higher because of the amount of death and the things that are happening. I didn't count in a whole village moving, which I might.
Yeah.
I should probably count that in.
Yeah.
But I did count
At
in
least a bonus point.
the fact that it can corrode metal instantly is
I
phenomenal
can't speak.
Mhm.
because nothing can corrode metal instantly.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
venom is
even
so
boric
toxic.
acid takes a little while. So,
Leave it.
let's just leave it. Like, we're not supposed to talk about it. But I'm having second thoughts when somebody said, when our stuff says stop recording and shit
Yeah.
after last week. I'm having second thoughts about continuing with the show. But
We're
I
troopers.
went 9.
You went 9 on the physical
I
object.
went 9 here, and it's basically I said, okay, it spits venom.
Yeah.
It electrical discharge.
Yeah.
The village moved. It
Yeah.
kills with a touch.
Yeah.
And then there's the other legend of it that it actually inflates and explodes.
Yeah, when it's shooting out, when it's trying to shoot someone with
Yeah,
venom,
just,
can put away.
and it just covers you in the acid.
Yeah.
And that it dissolves metal instantly. So I ended up going a 9 with it.
I can see that. I
Ceiling.
can see that. I'll go 9 here. I'll go 9 here on the
Yeah.
physical object. I agree with you on that one. Emotion, I was at a 7, and I think I need to be at a 10. The whole fucking village.
I'm a whole fucking village moved, bro.
moved.
And and even like chieftains and stuff in Mongolia who have never seen this thing, they are deathly afraid of it.
Afraid of it. Yeah. There's villages that during the rainy season don't leave the village.
They don't leave their hut. They don't leave their huts. They're like,
It
nope,
smells.
we're not. I guess it smells.
Well, you stay in a hut for 2 months to see how well it smells.
Yeah, right. I guess it would smell if you're stuck in there for 2 months. So yeah, I think it's definitely a 10. And then the last thing is the danger.
It's
And
a 10 for me here.
It's a 10. I think this is incredibly dangerous.
Just by touching it, you will die.
Yeah. And
That's if
it'll
you can
kill
get
you at a
close
distance
enough
too.
to it. That's if you can get close enough to it to touch it.
Yeah.
This thing killed a boy and then killed its whole family that chased after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10. Yeah, I went up. I went up quite a bit on some of these. That has to put us close to a 70.
Yeah, it's right at 70. Well, 69.5 or something like that because of the 5.5.
Yeah, because I went up 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, 13, 16. I went up 16 points plus the half. Yeah, 69.5. So 70. Damn. I went quite a bit. I told you, I'm pretty sure I underscored this thing because there's things I didn't account for, even though I was sitting there reading everything. I didn't account for it when I went to score it. But, and then the couple things that you said during our discussion here really
I
brought
don't know.
things to light on some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the emotion, the whole village. I don't know why I didn't put the emotion at 10. The whole village picking up and moving. I don't know why I didn't put that at 10. Physical object. Yeah. This is a crazy one. So
Leave me alone.
Dave, as we always end after scoring these things,
Damaged.
do you believe this to be a myth or a real cryptid?
If you'd asked me before I did the research, I would have said myth. I'm not sure now.
I think I'm kind of right there with you because I think the whole reason I kept putting
I'm
this
not
up
sure.
is because I didn't believe that this could be a real cryptid, right? With the lack
Right,
of
I didn't
evidence
think it
that's
was
out
real.
there. But when you have and I'm gonna just put this out here, when you have a genuine cryptozoologist and a guy that's gone out there 3 fucking times looking for this thing, and they both tell you that this is not a myth, there's something to it,
even though they've never seen it,
and they never once saw it.
there's gotta be some relevance. Yeah.
And the whole thing with the Russians for some reason is really bothering me. I think this thing
Yeah.
could very well be real. I think this could be a real cryptid. I think this could be a real
I think
cryptid.
so
You are
too.
fine.
I have
thank
to
you.
I have to reserve judgment though, because there's nothing other than this
Yes.
that is telling us that it's a real thing.
So is this a question mark? Our first ever
Disgusting.
question mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna put an asterisk on this. It's like real question mark.
So I'm gonna put
Um,
myth RC.
I'm probably, I
Question
mean,
mark.
right now I'm probably 60-40.
I'm leaning more towards this is I think
Real.
this might be a genuine cryptid here.
Yeah, I'm leaning
But
more towards
The
real.
lack
If you'd
of
have,
evidence still has me thinking, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
is it?
I don't know, maybe this is an old wives' tale to keep your kids from going out,
Yeah, it's definitely
or
not something to keep them from having sex.
but no, this is definitely has nothing to do with premarital sex. But
Could have been a Russian experiment gone wrong, is what Caveman says. And I do like that theory.
that's an interesting thought, and it could very well been. I think the Mongolian Death Worm predates the Soviet Union
Yeah, I think
taking
so
control
too.
over Mongolia. So I don't think that's the case, but I think the Soviet Union wanted to exploit that, maybe weaponize the venom.
Oh yeah, Russians did
And
do some crazy shit, as Rich says.
and I put down what you picked up.
Did you put down what I picked up?
I just went.
Am I yelling again? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
This is that's a
Stop.
good thing. Well, I mean, we got
It is
Guy
fun to
and
say.
we got a couple people on here. What are your feelings after watching Dave's awesome video on the lore and this discussion and everything?
Why is he here?
How do you guys feel about this? Is this a myth, or do you feel this has the potential of being a real cryptid? That's what I want to know. That's what I know. We got a couple of people in here. I know that's about a 1 minute delay, so I'll give you some time to answer.
I was looking for Jeopardy music, but this is the one that I picked.
I don't know. I have that question mark. For me, it's the lack of evidence hurts. Mansion. This is not a
Yeah,
mansion.
that's the thing that hurts. The lack of evidence here hurts, and we've had time since the 90s to go and try to research this,
Yes.
and they haven't found anything. But the stories, Rich has an interesting theory.
Yeah. So Caveman says
What?
myth for me. And then Rich comes in and says, I think it's a real cryptid, but possible misidentification. What the fuck else could it be, Rich?
Rich is like, it could be my penis.
It could be my penis.
I nickname
Mongolian
it
Death Worm.
Legendary.
Mongolian Death Worm. Let me just whip out my Mongolian Death Worm. And now it's time for Rich After Dark. Rich is going to pull out his Mongolian Death Worm and spit acid all over you. Oh, electrical discharge.
The discharge. I'm sorry, it's never happened to me before.
Tradition.
Canada.
It's tradition, Dave. It's tradition.
Tradition. Mine's in Canada.
Something not wormy.
Something not wormy.
Oh,
If it's not wormy, then it might be a coldie.
I'm just glad they didn't. The veiny was not in the description.
Yeah. But that it, that it looks like a large intestine is like, that's weird, right? It looks like an intestine crawling around.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Because they called it that because of the same color of the cattle intestines that were found after they've been mutilated.
Right.
Which I didn't say till just now, but
Yeah.
Jacob
Nope,
Swig.
that's another point for a pistol. No.
What does it say? A slice leaves the Mongolian Death Worm unaffected. Let's see.
The doll.
Unlikely. There's no hype or hunting party. I don't understand that.
It says maybe just a large worm not discovered yet.
I could see that.
Don't know if a flaccid worm would be flattering for a penis.
I would say so.
I don't know if it's a minimum 2 foot long. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. The minimum.
Minimum. That's the smallest it gets. 2 foot. I'm down for that.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Yes. Hold on. So, thank you for joining us, the three of us, for a very special episode of Spirits with Spirits.
You pass out just by getting an erection.
I know. Quick.
Oh my God! Look at the.
Oh, you were amazing.
The 2-inch.
That's actually called the Californian. That's the Californian mild annoying worm.
Oh my God!
That's the mildly annoying worm. It's a.
Oh yes,
That's the one from Canada. 2 fucking feet.
Not feeling well.
Not feeling well.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling well.
I'm feeling faint.
I'm feeling faint. I've got a 7-foot worm in my pants.
Oh God!
Rich
Seven.
just died laughing from an electrical discharge.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh God! Oh yes.
Okay, time to go.
All right. Well, I think it's funny because even Rich and Caveman still leaves us at a question mark.
There's still a difference. Yeah, Rich thinks it might be real.
Yeah.
Caveman doesn't think it's real. And Jacob's like, 2 foot fucking penis.
2 feet.
So who knows? Yeah, it's like we're kind of on the same boat, but it won't stand. No, it's a kickstand. It's not.
Why can't you move your right arm? You don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, that's not on my arm.
I get aroused, my whole right side of my body goes paralyzed.
Yeah. I get this. Yeah, I get this right side palsy because all the blood's gone to my dick.
Are
What
you
do
having
you
a
want?
stroke? No.
No.
Oh my God. No, that's not. Oh yes.
Okay. So next week, episode 30
Yeah. Heading to
is
France.
going to be our Halloween
shit.
special.
Halloween special.
Yeah. So you guys, hopefully you can join us at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern next Friday night we're going to play trick or treat. So what we're going to do is play some paranormal videos that we've gathered from the internet and show clips of them, and we're going to try to determine whether we think they're real, which means they're a treat, or they're fake, which means they're playing a trick on us.
Try to play a trick. So yeah, that's gonna be just just
a mild direction. Oh, if it won't stand, just a mild direction. we call that a semi. Yeah. Well, this stuff is better than I thought.
Yeah, gotta love the beast.
gotta love Arizona.
Hey, they got deserts there too, bro.
Yeah, they do. Hopefully, no Mongolian death worms.
This episode sponsored by him.
By hymns.
It's not working.
Nope.
I got no hair. Oh, wrong product. Sorry.
No, they do that too, but we don't buy it for the hair product.
I'm all about the blue chew, okay?
We buy it for the
Oh,
this episode needs to last at least 4 hours. Then we're gonna have to go call a doctor. 4 hours.
you know,
I'd be like, "Oh, your hat? Hang it right there."
I know when you know when Viagra first came out, I used to go 4 hours. That's a good night. Now I'm like 4 hours. I might need a doctor.
I might need a doctor for that. Hey, honey, you need anything fixed?
I'm laughing so hard. I'm sweating.
No throwing up though. No projectile vomiting. Whoo! Got the heart rate up. Wait. Oh yeah. Heart rate 109. I'm good. Oh, you guys, this has been a pleasure. I'm lucky the last 4 minutes.
Oh, this ain't Burger King. You don't get it your way.
No, you don't.
Oh, shit.
All right. We're gonna get out of here, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us for Spiritual Spirits episode 29. Tune in next week for our Halloween spectacular.
Yeah, which will be a longer episode. Because
yeah, No Scare Network TV that week.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do the live stream. So yeah, we'll probably go a couple hours or so.
But speaking of Scare Network, they are up and running, folks. They are up and running. They do still got some stuff to work out, but it is unlike before. It is completely free. You get to watch all the great stuff that My Paranormal Experience just launched their new season on there with Malvern. They got something in Suburbia, and I can't remember the name. Darkness in Suburbia, I think it's called.
I think that's right. Something like that.
The Darkness in Suburbia, which is a new series that they're doing where they are literally investigating a whole village is the wrong word.
Whole village that moved because of the Mongolian Death Worm.
It's like this whole cul-de-sac, this whole area of this town that is completely haunted. I mean, they're going to all these houses. It's crazy. It's got everybody Sean Austin on there. It's got Eric Connor. It's got Shane Pittman, and of course Billy Lewis, the creator and founder of Scare Network Television. We're the founders of Spirits.
Well, you're the founder. I'm the host with the most.
Yeah. But that is phenomenal. I think I'm watching episode right now when we get off tonight. Yeah, I can't wait for it because they are expanding it with this new site. they're completely expanding their stuff to where right now on the computer and Roku, they got the full site launched up. But in the next couple months, iTunes, Google, something else with Google, Chromecast, all that stuff, Amazon Fire,
Apple TV, Amazon Fire,
TV
all that stuff is coming.
is actually going to
they're
have the
upgrading all
actual apps to where you can actually download the app on your actual phone and watch it the same way you would watch it on the computer. So it's going to be great. And $4.99 a month if you don't like watching ads, which is about the same cost of paying for Apple TV if you think about it. But if you don't mind watching ads, which is, go for it, watch it for free. Those ads are what helps pay for that channel. It is literally the only paranormal network out there, folks. I'm just telling you right now.
Natalie.
So, sparenetwork.tv. They're fucking amazing. I keep trying to call them spirits because
Have you been
on
before?
there. Yeah, I have been there before.
We've been there before.
We got 18 episodes on there right now.
The same thing. My ghost tube said the exact same thing just now.
I'm telling you, bro. They're amazing. You can watch our first half of our season, 18 episodes on there right now.
I meant it.
And they meant it. But you can't pay the $4.99 a month if you want to, if you feel like watching ads. And Dave is starting to throw our newest episodes on there. The Slender Man will be showing up on there soon. And Dave's
next week.
Yeah, next week is what Billy was saying. I saw the emails there. So, and our trailer is on there, folks. Our trailer is fucking amazing. I'm just gonna say it right now. Again, Dave,
I love the trailer. It was so good to watch that.
The technical guru of us made an amazing trailer for the Spiritual Spirits channel on Scare Network TV. It's great. You'll love it. I love the ending. The ending gives me chills. Gives me chills, Dave. Every single time I watch it and hear it, I'm like, that is, ooh. It makes me want to click it. It's like, oh, I got to watch this. It's great. It's great. I love it. But we also want to thank Spotify for podcasts, because that's why you're able to hear our voices everywhere you like to listen to your podcast, like on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course, even Amazon Music. They do this completely free for you guys. So if you're trying to start your own podcast up, completely free. They even put it out there to everybody completely free. And it's a great place to continue on as you grow your podcast. They will help you find sponsorships to where you can actually get a little monetary gain. It's not a lot, it takes a lot of work to get that little bit of monetary gain. But they will help you get those sponsorships, which is great. And of course, we want to thank StreamYard. StreamYard is why you're able to see our beautiful face, like on Facebook, YouTube. I hear you. If you're checking out YouTube, you're on our Spirits with Spirits channel. If you're on Facebook, you're watching us with Spirits JD. And if you're watching us on Twitter, which for some reason you don't get to actually comment on there, it's Spirits with Spirits. So if you're watching on Twitter, and you want to chime in, switch over to the YouTube, put your 2 cents in. And again, people, I do want to reiterate, if you're ever watching live on the show and you want to get your 2 cents in and you don't feel like typing 200 words a minute, I put the link at the very beginning of the show, folks, to where you guys can join us.
And you hear her.
Room. We'll make sure you are who you say you are. And come join the show. We have no problem bouncing ideas back and forth from each other and having a good, solid communication. John should be an honorary Nerf herder.
Yeah.
Punished.
You don't know how right that was.
Yeah, fuck you too, caveman.
No, but yes, that was so myself, caveman, Fish the Collector, and it wasn't Stacy. No, it was Chris, the Star Trek guy. We basically formed an alliance and did a sci-fi trivia contest against a group called the Collectors Club in their house, and we beat them. So, and we called ourselves the Nerf Herders. So,
I could be a Nerf herder.
You can be. He says maybe not.
Punish.
Feeling.
I'm feeling this.
I'm feeling it's getting me. All right, let's make like horse shit and hit the trail.
All right, folks. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for everybody that watches on the replay and everybody that listens to it on the podcast channels. We appreciate you. We're out of here. We're Spirit to Spirits. Dave, roll the credits.
Rolling the credits. See you, everybody. Take care.